Hey guys, it's Meridy here, and I'm super excited for our first day of the 12 Days of Christmas 2023. You may be following along with the series because you got our kit, or you may be following along with it because you made your own kit using your stash and supplies from your stash, or maybe it's a combination of the two. But if you haven't watched the introduction video, you might want to go watch that first and you can see exactly what we're working with. I'm also going to link it in the description of this video. So if you are kind of lost right now, you might want to go back and watch the introduction video. That will explain everything. But we will move on with the layout that we're going to make today. And these are the supplies that we're going to use for the layout today. We're going to use this sheet of paper that came in your kit. It came in the a What Fun kit, and a piece of white cardstock from your stash. We're going to use some of these foam stickers that came in the kit, and we're going to use some of these 49 and Market die cuts that came in the kit. We're also going to be using 3 4x4 photos, and those are going to represent my 3 photos. And if you don't have 4x4 photos, you know, you can vary this. It doesn't have to be the exact same. You'll see when we get going that you can adjust your photos. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to trim my photos down 1/4 inch off of 2 sides. So they're really 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches, because this makes it a lot easier to mat on the white cardstock, and you can fit a lot more pictures on one sheet of cardstock when you're not just running out of like a tiny little bit. So trim your photos down to 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and I think these are already that size. Yeah, they are. And then you're going to go ahead, and whatever size your photos are, if they're different than this, you're going to want to cut this a little different. But we're going to cut 3 photo mats that are exactly 4 inches by 4 inches. So that is why we trim it down, because it's so much easier to cut photo mats that are even. So save this piece, the rest of this piece, because you're going to map photos and other layouts coming up later in this series. So we've got your 3 photo mats that are 4x4, and you're going to want to go ahead and grab the ink that came in your kit. There's 3 colors of ink. I'm going to grab this the darkest one, which is called Burma Jade. Okay, and I'm going to grab my box of tools here and dig out what I need. You're gonna need a blending tool and a blending brush. So we're gonna get a blending tool that allows you to ink the edges, like the little foam things, and then the blending brush, because we're gonna be using that too. Alrighty, here's my little blending tool that I'm gonna use. So the first thing that we're gonna do is open up the ink. Let me move these things out of the way. And we're just going to use the blending tool and ink the edges of our 3 photo mats. Just really quickly do that. If you would prefer to just take the ink pad and put it directly on the edges to ink the edges, you can do that too. Just whatever way you prefer to ink the edges of your photo mats. So we've got the edges inked up, and we're going to use this ink again in just a minute, so we'll just put it off to the side. But you can go ahead and adhere your photos to the photo mats next. So we'll just do one right there. And then this paper that we're using today, since it's got such beautiful artwork on it, it basically speaks for itself here for the background paper. We don't need to do a bunch of layers of anything because it is so amazing and has so much detailed artwork on it. So we'll just go ahead and trim the branding strip off, and we're going to save this for later. We're not going to use it today, but we will use it later, so do not throw this away. And let's see, we're going to kind of lay out the pictures how we're going to keep them, and I'm going to lay them out just like this. I don't care that it's covering up this 25 cents in special delivery. That's fine with me. I'm going to kind of just keep them like this. Okay, now you can go ahead and mat them down just like this if you'd like, or you can do what I'm going to do. I see where I've got them, and I'm going to use this blending brush, and I'm going to kind of put a little ink in the background in this area, almost like this whitewashed area on the paper. And I'm not gonna worry about getting it all over the whole background because you could see most of it was covered up with pictures. So I'm just gonna put a little ink because I just like to add color and layers, and especially color. So I'm gonna do it right there. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'm gonna do some right here in this little area. And then I'm gonna do a little more in this third area. Let's see, a little more in this area right over here, just to bring your eye over. Since you've got it in those other two areas, it will keep the little pops of green will just keep your eye moving around the page. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Actually, I'm really gently dipping this in here because otherwise it will make like a dark green splat if you do it too heavily. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're done with that ink for this layout. And we can adhere these down, and I'm going to just slightly overlap each photo a little so it looks like they're one group. I find when I'm making layouts, if things are too spaced out on the page, they appear to be kind of floating more. So I like things to be grounded. So then overlapping things and moving them in just a little bit tighter keeps things grounded together. I'm gonna move this up just a little. I think I put it too far down because I don't want to overlap a lot of my photos, just slightly, because you might have important elements in there that you don't want to get covered up. I think I'll make this one about right here. Okay, now we're gonna empty out. First, we're gonna get this ephemera. There are so many pieces in here, guys. So many. I am going to go off camera and pull out the ones that we need because there's 134 pieces and I don't really want to go through them individually on the camera. So I'm gonna pull out the ones that we need, which happens to be this one. And I'll be right back after I get what we need and I'll show you when I come back. Alrighty, I have all of the ephemera from that ephemera pack that you need, and I'm going to tell you what you need. You're going to need this big tag that's red and black, and this little one that's green and black, and the Wonderful Life tab. This is if you want to do yours exactly like mine. You do not have to. You need this little guest check, the word magical, the phrase merry and bright in this little label, the bingo card that says merry, this little jolly, the little green tab, the one that says Christmas magic, okay, the one that says Merry Christmas, this holly jolly days, this little thing of poinsettias, the word merry, and then filled with joy right there. The most wonderful time of the year, green one, the red blank tab, and the little happy. Okay, and then some of this we're going to put on with foam tape, and some of this we're going to lay flat on our page. If you are someone that does not like a lot of dimension on your layouts, you're just going to want to put all of this flush on your layout. Ignore where I'm putting foam adhesive. But if you like dimension on your layouts, then you're going to want to do this. So these two I just put flush down. I'm going to kind of talk as I go, so this doesn't get too terribly long. And then this one has foam tape right on top. Okay, this little guest check goes flush to the back. And I'm not going to put a lot of foam tape on these for the video because obviously I don't want you guys to be sitting here forever while I'm pulling off tape. So in reality, I would put more than just these couple pieces on here. Okay, but for now, this is what we're doing. So the magical, and also this will kind of depend if you've got important things in your pictures that you don't want to cover up, you know, adjust the placement of these things that are overlapping the pictures. The Merry and Bright, I just wedged up underneath there. Okay, over here, I put this red tab flush to the back of the page. And I just kind of stuck it a tiny, tiny bit underneath of the picture, and then put this Most Wonderful Time of the Year right over here too. And then I just popped up the little type, it's like a typewriter key, it looks like, kind of, that says happy. There's all kinds of phrases. There's a lot of these in the ephemera pack. And I overlapped that down there. Okay, down here, this one, I put this whole card up on foam tape because I wanted to stick things out, hide things from sticking, make things stick out from under it and add dimension. So I kind of just, I covered up this whole 25 cents in special delivery with this tag. I wedged this little one that says Christmas Magic right up underneath there. I put the Jolly right on top of the card, and same with these two guys. I just kind of put one down here. I wanted that red star to show, so I made sure to leave the red star showing. And then Merry Christmas is right like that. And then on this side, I hid the bottom of these poinsettias. Actually, I might have to clip that one stem off so it doesn't stick out. But I kind of hid them in there. And then I put the Holly Jolly Days sticking out right from underneath of my picture. And then Filled with Joy and Merry, I popped both of those up on foam tape to add dimension over there. So guys, whenever I'm doing little embellishment clusters, I try to vary the size of the elements. I try to repeat elements from one cluster to the next, and I repeated those. I try to vary the colors, like I used the red tag and then the green one of these and the red one of these. So I've got kind of all of the colors. You know, I've got red and green over here and red and green over here. I just try to vary the colors and the sizes, but also keep them kind of balanced. And like I said, it's really helpful when you've got clusters to move them in. Like if I would have spread these out too big, they would have just been kind of floating. So everything, when I'm making my pages, a lot of times, like I'll set it down and then I'll squeeze everything in a little bit. Sorry, this is kind of loud, but we need a couple of these foam stickers too. I put the red one right here, a little red heart right there. I put a little green heart right here. And then I put a dark green heart up here. So that way I got a little heart in each of these three clusters too. But that's kind of how I decide where to put things, because while we're going through this whole series, I'll kind of tell you why I decided to do some of the things I did when it's necessary. But this is the layout for day one, and it came together pretty quick. It looks awesome. The paper I love. So I hope you guys have fun. I hope that you put these together, and if you do, I would love it if you share them on our Facebook group. That would be awesome. I'm going to make an album in there called the 12 Days of Christmas 2023, and you can share any of the layouts, even if you don't make this one, but if you make other ones with these supplies or using your own supplies and making this layout, just please share them there. It's our Not Just for Boys Kit Club community group on Facebook, and I will put still shots of this at the end of my video. Okay, bye guys.